talk about?
Yeah. Like,
All
hey
right.
everyone.
We just literally spoke about everything that we were going to speak about here. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry
Let's
guys.
let's just repeat ourselves.
Do I get
Um,
credit for the fact that I called a top when we had Anthony
Dude.
Sassano on?
Dude,
Dude, that was good. Yeah.
I was
I was like, this is it. This is the top. We're gonna go down.
dude, I was just doing the timestamps.
I'll actually give you credit for your Nvidia top. That was actually quite a good
That was
call.
shorting the video.
that was impressive, dude.
I'll
So
give
I
you that.
love
That
the
was
fact
very
that I
good.
shorted the
Actually,
only
you know what?
asset that's holding up the best. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it was actually a good short in hindsight. Like 1,000's a round number. Like probably be resistant at least once.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Good short, I guess. Looks good.
I kind of think it will now go lower because I saw the strength on the weekend and I was like, if it can just like stay around that 900 range, I think we'll be fine. But now it's actually like dipped down again. So
I don't know.
we'll have to wait and see.
If you look higher time frame, like the weekly looks like bullish engulfing.
Yeah, the weekly's crazy. It's like same as Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's weekly is like crazy good.
So
like
I don't know. Like the pattern
whereas
that
like
I'm
alts
seeing
look fucked.
Yeah, the Nvidia pattern looks like the breakdown, fake out sort of, and then continuation.
For downside?
No, for upside.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Like I didn't really
Yeah.
know. I just think that like even if it is like a profitable trade that I took shorting the video, I could have just shorted anything else really, and it would have been a lot better. So
Yeah. Could have just shorted with.
I feel like people. Like if someone does time the top of Nvidia, it'll be like the greatest trade of all time. But like that's the hardest part. It's like you can't really.
I was speaking to Dark, and he's like, "Hey man, I checked on your Nvidia, and it's down 3%. Wow, crypto really like desensitizes you to like declines." I was like, "Oh my god, this is like a subtle dunk." He's just like, "Yeah, it's not much, man." Shout out to Dark.
I love how cheeky Dark is, man. He gets these like, that's so funny.
Yeah, I told
it's
him I
always
was
really
like,
polite, well-meaning British like kind of jabs. It's always like, oh yes, have you thought about this? You're like, oh man, why you gotta do me like that, bro?
I was telling Dark that I was like going on to the Sui to just check some stuff out, and he was like, "Are you okay?" It's just like he's like, "You good, man? Like this seems like a little bit retarded. Like, just check in."
Yes.
I was actually on a call with him last night, and we ended up having some pretty good discussions because we wanted to talk about ETH, obviously because he's ETH bullish. And
is he an ETH like maxi or is it?
Yeah, like max. I wouldn't say maxi. I would just say like
not Fassel level.
No.
But not maxi.
ETH bull.
Yeah, I'm sort of in that ballpark, I guess.
Yeah,
but maybe I'm more like neutral, but yeah, I know. What you mean.
I think he I'm I like to try and separate the two things, right? So I like ETH the tech, right? I just don't like ETH the trade. In terms of like this cycle,
there's better trades.
I just don't see ETH as like a great trade. But I said to him last night, like if you had to put me in a coma for like 5-10 years, I'd be telling you to buy ETH. But
it's like me. I'd buy just BTC and ETH. If like someone said you can't look at your portfolio for 5 years, what are you buying? I'd just be like BTC ETH.
Exactly. But like for this cycle, like he used in your podcast, Tom, the analogy around the fighter jets. And it's like, you've got like the naval ship, and then all of the fighter jets go away, and then they go and collect some coins from everywhere else, and then they bring it back. And I said to him like, that's the perfect analogy but he was using it in the sense of like, what's it called? Like what your native token should be, whereas I'm using it in the sense of like, okay, majority of the people from 2023. Started denominating themselves in ETH, and there's still majority of the people are doing that. There's like this new cohort of people that are doing that in Sol, but I would say a large majority of people are still doing that in ETH. And because all of the activities happening outside of ETH, the reason why ETH pumps last is because all the activities happening elsewhere. And then so when you do finally see the ETH pump, it's the final, all of the fighter jets are coming back to the ship. bringing that wealth back to ETH, and then it pumps, and then that's why we see the subsequent dumps, because there's no more activity to be had anywhere else in order to sort of farm money away from everything. So
yeah.
Hence
So essentially,
why
the ETH pump is just everyone bringing it back to safety and being like, "All right, cool."
yeah, and it sort of
We've had our fun.
marks the end. Yeah, exactly.
Permission to nuke.
Marks the end.
Yeah, permission to nuke.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh god.
All right, shall we kick this off? I'll do the
Yeah.
intro.
Let's go.
All right, everyone, let's get stuck in.
I'm doing the little intro music. Sorry, I'm not streaming it for you guys. Now we can go.
Way, fuck yeah, cool. Gentlemen, what do we want to discuss? There's so many things that have happened.
Our
I think,
net worth has been cut in half, maybe in the
gonna
last
say-
like 3 days.
yeah, essentially, why is it going down? It's like the main topic of discussion.
It's
I would
been
like
pretty
to talk
nuts.
about what are the clearest rules to abide by when playing beer pong, and how stringent and lenient do you need to be about elbows over the table? Because I feel like there's a
You
lot
can't
of
be lenient. You gotta.
you gotta have a hard line. I feel. Yeah.
I mean,
Because
that's-
it can throw off your game. You know, like if
I
you're too
feel like-
focused on the rules, like you may not be able to, win. Essentially,
True.
I still
guessing
think
you
that,
lost a few games last night, Swiss.
I did. Yes.
Not at all.
Is this the I'm coping over people making money on Solana meme coins again, but with beer pong?
It is. It is.
But we're currently losing money on Solana meme coin. So.
I actually generally think I didn't make any money on Solana meme coins, if I'm honest.
Oh, dude, I reckon I round tripped so much money. It's crazy actually thinking about how much money I round tripped in the last month on Solana meme coins. But
Yeah. Because I feel like you just had to buy anything in March and it would have 10,000x. So
You could
you
just
just, like-
buy pretty much any coin.
if you
and it would
bought
be
like the top memes, like the top like 5 or 6 Solana animal meme coins, and held them like from the original Solana season, like end of last year, and then held them for like this Solana season, like you'd still be up so much. Like I remember popcat was like, what was it at? It was like 10 million or something. And if you just like bought that from the original first Solana season, you'd be up you'd be up 10x even on this dump, like 15x on this dump. Like
yeah.
I feel like a
that's
lot of
true.
late entrants would be feeling a bit
oh,
at the moment.
bad.
Like if you bought popcat around 30 cents, or just like any of the coins around between 50 plus mil market cap, you'd be a bit
Don't
like,
remind
yeah. But yeah.
There's been some good ones though recently, like PUPS from
Yes.
the BTC chain, like
I
bridged
do,
over.
yeah.
That's been pretty good.
Someone explain what the fuck is going on there. I started touching grass from Solana memes as they showed up. I was just a bit like, I'm tired, boss.
It's like an
And
arbit.
I kind of tapped
like-
out of Solana memes. I was like, oh my God, I can't open another pump.fun tab. I'm going to... Bad things are going to happen.
The arb is pretty funny on it. Like Wonel can explain it further.
Yeah,
I
so,
guess,
like,
but...
I'm not like super expert on it, but from my understanding, so you've got like PUPS, which is the token that was like airdropped to the puppet holders on BTC, and then so that's like the pre-rune token, and we can sort of get into the runes thing a bit later, but that launched. It's there. People are trading it on Bitcoin, and then someone or the project like bridged the PUPS token from BTC over to Solana. So then like basically from there there's like a pricing mechanism just like anything else on Solana, as in terms of like a Solana SPL 20 coin, and then but because it exists on Solana as well as BTC, there's like an arbitrage that can happen. So it's like, if PUPs are trading lower on Bitcoin, then you can like buy it up, bridge it over, and then sell it trading higher in Solana. But like with the the transaction times on Bitcoin being so slow, like that arbitrage isn't always there. And so whilst the arbitrage may be there, you might not always be able to capture it. So it creates an interesting dynamic, because Solana is so fast and quick, and people can trade it more actively, than compared to if you were doing it on Bitcoin. You get this potential where you can get this like bigger run up on the Solana side, to the point where like the value is so great in differential between what it's trading at a Bitcoin, that like the Bitcoin holders can like come across and like just dump on the Solana people, and then vice versa. So yeah, it's interesting, but we've seen a bit of a run. Ansem and Arthur had a bit of an exchange about PUPS yesterday, which kind of like sent it close to $100, after the initial dump that we experienced on Saturday. And now it's trading at around $77, $78.
What's the market cap on it?
It's like 600 something mil.
Yeah.
Holy shit! How the fuck? Oh man, more
But, like,
generational
doesn't-
wealth.
yeah.
Humbled.
But the
on
market
Dexter-
cap that you see on
Yeah,
Solana
this is why I got
only the
confused.
Solana ratio, right? It's only the amount of tokens that exist on Solana, not the total amount of tokens that you see overall, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of discrepancy there, but because it shows as a smaller market cap, it's sort of like the native Solana people go, oh, this is only a 138 mil market cap token.
That's what I
Fuck
thought. I thought it was like a community meme coin of it, and it would just like follow it because it's like it would just if the runes went up, like it would just follow it because it's like I don't know, it's like people think it's the same thing, but no, it's actually like connected.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you can just check on like CoinGecko, like the actual market cap of PUPS or whatever. But yeah, 600 mils. It could go way higher because first meme coin on BTC. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
That's been pretty
Nah,
cool.
it's
There's
cool.
been like some Milady coins that are doing well recently on Sol in the last few weeks. This Yippee that been cooking on a bit recently, and then there's the NFT, the Retardio NFT, which is like a Remilio derivative, which I think's been doing pretty well. And it's sort of captured like trading acts and Rhino's attention recently.
Rhino, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Funny.
I copped one the other day. Just full
How
disclosure.
much are they?
I'm just trying to pull it up now. So, Retardio. It's so retarded. I'm actually saying so Retardio Cousins. That's the one. But yeah, they are 13.4 for Sol.
Oh yeah.
No shit, that's alright.
Nice,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
But yeah,
Nice.
so between those couple of things, like shit's still happening, but it's a lot less sort of active probably as it was before, and like the pump.fun coins are just retarded as fuck. So
everyone's pivoted to becoming geopolitical experts, I think.
Yeah, I love that anytime there's remotely conflict, everyone's like, oh, guys, the macro looks pretty bad. Fuck, okay, here we go. The thread ores come out.
Yeah. The thread ores.
The thread ores.
Love
What
a good
this
thread ore.
means, I feel like everyone just thinks that World War III is going to happen anytime anything remotely conflict-based happens. It's like, trust me, this is how it begins, bros. And you're like, fuck, okay.
that was like,
man.
I love that like doomsday posters, like the dooms dudes, like they always say like, this is perfect, like World War III, perfect for my shorts. It's like, bro, like if it actually happened, the world's gonna just explode. Like it's not good for anything. It's not good for anything, bro.
Yeah,
Who fucking cares about your shorts?
Someone said to me that they were like buying gold because the US dollar was going to collapse, and I was like,
What are you gonna?
I was like, what are you going to sell it into? And like, bold of you to assume you'd have any possessions if the US dollar collapsed. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter if you've bought it through. Yeah, it was just kind
I
of
don't know. What if there's like
wanky.
it's a chaotic world and everyone just comes into people's houses and starts stealing everything? Like, what if they steal your gold, bro? Like, and you don't even own your own gold if you're like buying it over a fucking on a fucking market. At least B2C, you could like literally buy it and store it yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I
like,
don't get the like unless you literally bury it in your backyard.
Those people I can
not
understand because
yours.
they're actual like doomsday preppers. But like the people who like buy gold on an exchange and they're like, I'm waiting for this like almighty recession that's going to appear. I'm like, bro, like if the world did collapse, you're not getting your gold. Look.
for real, man.
Someone else has taken that shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's not yours, man. Yeah, your piece of paper that tells you that you own the gold
means shit,
is
bro.
not very valuable.
So funny.
But yeah, man. But yeah, it has been a fucking rough week. Like it's just one of those ones where I'm like, okay, don't open the gecko. I made the mistake this morning, like on the way to meet up with someone. I was like, I'll just have a look at the price of DMT, and I was like, oh no, I won't.
That's $66 is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just pricing it in my head because I was like, it was 120 like last week, and I was like,
relative
that's
to what
awesome.
it was, $9, it's still looking good.
It's pretty good.
Exactly. No complaints.
I'm pretty sure ETH was like higher than what it was now when it was like $9. So, yeah.
On the ETH chart's probably fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, ETH chart's pretty good.
Yeah, no, we're everything's fine, dude. It's not like I'm flipping bearish. It's more just like, yeah, why can't everything just go up in a straight line forever? I got used to these prices. I like those prices. They're good numbers.
Yeah, I like DMT at $120. Why is it 60 now?
Yeah. Can't it just be $1,000 today? What's wrong with this market? Jesus.
It's kind of crazy how everything except like B2C and like runes and ordinals is just like dropped like 50% instantly.
Yeah, so what's the go with fucking runes? Like that's something that I kind of saw, and it was like the Swiss was talking about it on his panel.
Swiss and Wonel would know more than I do.
Oh no, yeah, Swiss will know more than me.
Swiss would know everything. Yeah.
Swiss, time to chime in.
Yeah, for those who don't know, I sat at a panel and had to, with a straight face, tell educated, sophisticated people that Brotato Capital was an investment firm to their face, and then talk about ordinals and stuff like that. So,
did you actually mention Brotato Capital?
Yeah, I had to. I asked Greg. I was like, do you want me to speak about Brotato Capital? I'm like, yeah, it'll be good. And I was like, hi, my name's Swiss. I was like, we're from Brotato Capital. We have assets under management totaling $10,000, and Tom lost it all.
Yeah, that was good. Everyone looked at me and I'm like, oh, yep, that's me. I did lose it all. Thank you.
But I just said it was a podcast or some shit. I don't really know. But yeah, what questions do you guys have about runes?
What the fuck are they for starters?
Yeah, probably to maybe more direct it. Like, what's the difference between runes and BRC20s?
Yeah.
Oh, bold of you to assume that I would know the difference. But basically, BRC20s are like a version of ordinals. They're just like very hard to, like, they're basically like individual NFTs that you trade as like a currency on top of the main chain. So that's why like the dexes that you use on chain to like buy BRC20 is just like janky, and it's like limit ordering. So like, for example, if you go over to PUPS on Unisat, you'll see that the first person that's willing to sell PUPS at $74 is like 69 PUPS for $74, and it's like $5,000. And then the next person's selling 2,500 PUPS for like $186,000. So you can't necessarily like market buy. You have to like go find an amount that you can like purchase and afford, but it may not be at the right price. So there's like a jankiness to the BRC20s that are built on mainnet. So like the best use of like buying and selling these actually come from a centralized exchange rather than doing it natively currently, especially with like transaction times. So runes are designed to be separate from Ordinals. So like Ordinals will have their like upgrades as it goes on and be more efficient and work on that sort of tech. And I think there's like a BRC 22.0 that's coming out. But essentially, runes are designed to be a very good version of shitcoining, intentionally by the creator, Casey Rodemore. He wants to create a standard of where you can do a lot more shitcoining on BTC without the jankiness of like individual NFTs for tokens, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's what runes will be.
So it's more like an ERC20 than
the BRC20.
The BRC20s, yeah. So it's and it's using the UTXO model of like rather than like the non-fungible version that the current
yeah. So like he opted to build it on the mainnet, which I would assume would take on the UTXO model because that's like a big part of mainnet transactions and stuff. Whereas like he's not building like an additional, well, I wouldn't say additional layer, but like he's not building like a side chain like Stacks and then being able to like degenerately, you know, trade runes on there or anything like that. Yeah, so I think it will be exciting. I'm personally not as bullish as like everyone else thinks that it is. Just purely on the fact that the best shitcoining experience is still probably on Sol. And I actually believe now that I'm like we litmus test the room. Like these are people that are in the space that like invest their time and like work in the space and like literally work at major exchanges and stuff in Australia. And we like have got everyone to put their hand up to see if they own an ordinal. And I reckon less than 20% put their hand up, which kind of makes me think that the market caps of a lot of this stuff is similar to the NFTs of the 2021 cycle, where it's like a small door of like capital that flows in and then it just absolutely extrapolates and inflates prices above what they're probably actually worth at. Which isn't a bad thing because it's like a bubble, which means like it could probably keep going up for ages. And I also think that a lot of the money was probably made in the minting of the BRC20s when the tech was newer and also less crowded in terms of the trade. Because what you've got going on at the moment is that everyone's buying the pre-rune like ordinal stuff. And so like the pre-rune stuff, so you've got things like Runestone, Rune PUPS, Risk Meta Protocol PUPS, all this sort of stuff. People are running in to buy this now ahead of what runes might be. So it's not only are you like waiting for people to cut, like the people that would generally maybe buy the runes token are going to have to not buy what they're purchasing now, if that makes sense. So like it actually puts you in a bit of a weird position because if you already own a lot of this stuff, you're essentially waiting for free money to get allocated to you. But at the same time, the free money that's getting allocated to you, it's like who's going to be buying it that isn't already buying the pre-allocated stuff, if that makes sense. So it's like a little bit of a stalemate at the moment. I don't know what that will look like. But if I compare it to the BRC20s, which I wasn't really around for when they first minted, things like Track and Audi were minted at like half a cent, I believe. And so Audi went up to like close to $100. And so the 1000Xs have actually already been made on a lot of these BRC20s that were luckily enough to get listed on exchanges. Wonel, if you go to if you want to share your screen and pull up Track Tether on Gate.io, so Track spelled TRAC, and then just chuck it in a log. Maybe do it on the weekly, might be a bit clearer. And then look at it. Yeah, it went from 4 cents to $8, right? So like that sort of trade has already been done, I think. And I think that like that happened at a period, and that was on an exchange too, right? So that was in June 2023 all the way up until December 2023. So those sort of trades are like good. I just don't know if that will be a runes thing, but what I am looking forward to is the innovation that comes from runes. So if there's going to be any new protocols that build out capabilities to make it more user friendly and what that sort of looks like, because at the end of the day, it's innovative tech, and it's going to be fun to like play around with and experiment with. It's just in terms of like an overall trade, I just think BRC20s were where the money was made originally because there was little hype. I think Ordinals now, the pre-rune stuff is like a stalemate because if you buy now, you're expecting an airdrop. But if everyone's buying now, expecting the airdrop, who's going to buy the actual airdrop when it's airdropped? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make too much sense. But also, if you do sell, you're essentially selling your ticket to get access to the airdrop. So it's like, well, what do? Do you sell now, come back later and buy the airdrop, or do you just like wait it out and essentially bag hold the airdrop and your pre-allocation ordinal before runes? So I think it's going to be cool either way. I think if prices are nuking or sideways for the next couple of months, I think having that attention will probably be a net benefit. But yeah, that's where I'm sort of at with it. I don't know if you guys have any additional research or thoughts from looking at that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I think you're definitely doing the chief mid-curve officer thing again. But because I think there's probably a lot more upside to it than probably you expect, simply because it's probably the DeFi summer moment for Bitcoin. And whilst those trades might have been big, I don't think those trades were big for a lot of people, because it doesn't take much to move coins from small market cap to a big market cap overall. Like yes, you do mint like a few millionaires out of it and that, but given the low liquidity on it, I don't think it's like that big of a deal. I think once you start talking in the $1 billion valuations, that's when, you know, this stuff becomes a lot more real, because the liquidity to market cap ratios are quite different. So whilst the trade might be big, if you actually wanted to sell, the amount of slippage that you would incur meant that you probably wouldn't be able to walk away with that actual amount that like sort of shows up in the wallet. But I think the thing that I see with it all is fundamentally that this is like Bitcoin's time to shine in a greater sphere, because I think for the last 6 to 8 months, like this is like pre DeFi summer stuff on Bitcoin, and now we're about to have DeFi summer on Bitcoin, and stuff like runes makes it a hell of a lot easier. Like I'm seeing people actually using like Unisat wallets and stuff now, whereas like the last 6 to 8 months that like wasn't happening. And secondly, I think majority of the users that are doing this now aren't BTC natives. I think majority of the people that are doing this are probably more ETH natives that know how to play this game, as in the NFT game. So most of the Ordinals stuff would have been like, you know, deep ETH natives that knew how to play the NFT game, saw what was happening with Bitcoin and went and played around with it. And the actual BTC quote unquote natives are the ones that are more likely not to touch their BTC and speculate with it at all. Because why would you speculate with it when it's going up in price because of ETF flows, etc.? But what I do think is like the big moment for all of this stuff comes from when BTC stalls, and the price appreciation of the different ecosystem tokens, like with runes or with the NFTs with ordinals, when those things become at a point where it's so big, you can't not want to speculate with it. And at that point in time, when you get the BTC natives that they want to FOMO, that's when you get like the exponential price increases to valuations that like sort of beyond reasonable. Because
Yeah.
I was talking to like Dark about it last night, and you know the valuations of these NFTs on Bitcoin right now, like they're fucking cheap still. Like honestly, like for a coin that's got a $1 trillion market cap, and like the top like few NFTs that are on it are like you know, like they're $26,000, $30,000. Like they're not great. You know, they're not. It's not like, you know, this $1 trillion market cap has unlocked all this capital to like flow into these NFTs, and they're wanting to speculate on it. Like if the biggest you can do is like, you know, $26,000 NFT, like that's not great at the moment. And like, you know,
Well, yeah, it depends like how you look at it though. But yeah, continue.
yeah. So like Bored Apes, like at one point in time were like 400K a piece, right? So like the market cap of Bored Apes would have been huge at that point in time. So I guess what I'm saying is like there's a lot of capital that hasn't unlocked itself yet from BTC, and because it's such a high market cap, like the upside potential of this is probably much bigger than what we've seen before, like on ETH or anything further downstream, because the ability for those people to speculate is a lot higher. And I think, myself included, are discounting how big that can be on Bitcoin. And because of that, I think like the upside potential on these things is multiples that you probably wouldn't normally get on others. That's just
I probably
my
disagree.
thoughts.
Yeah, like I see where you're coming from in terms of like unlocking the capital for BTC. It's just like when you talk about the size of the NFTs on BTC not being as large, like the best experience you can have with BRC20s is on a centralized exchange. And so like the thought of having a BTC DeFi summer is on one end of the spectrum, like easy to take that trade and think that it will all go up. But on the other hand, it's like you're sort of justifying that ETH people will move over to BTC to take advantage of a BTC native change in layer one functionality, which is kind of odd because like
I don't think the ETH people would be doing it. I think it's the BTC native people that would be taking advantage of it.
I don't think the BTC people will come over, to be honest. And the reason why I think that is because it's, I don't know, like the DeFi summer of the first time around, it depends on what you think the DeFi summer was. Was it the increase in price for the DeFi tokens, or is it the capacity and ability for the tech on ETH to get better with the DeFi native protocols?
No. So
like,
I wouldn't even say it would be that. I just think it would be ability for you to speculate with the native token on something.
Yeah, this is so what I'm trying to get at is, where do you think speculation with the BTC native token is correct? I think there will be some of that, and I think it's a fun thing to do. I think primarily though, it depends what innovation comes out of ordinals. If you think of an ordinal, if you think a BRC20 has no like fundamental use case at the moment. So if you think another fundamental coin with no use case will come out, and so like essentially a BRC20 replica will come out, you're expecting that it will go up multiples because it's something else to speculate on. I agree to some degree that it will attract people to speculate on that, but it's like you've got ordinals and BRC20s already. Ordinals yet to like have any sort of real value unless you're going to put it towards art or historical significance, which I don't think those buyers and sellers are here yet. Because
Correct.
If you look at the top collections, you've got things like Node Monks, which has like the same background as the punks and claims it's that the first 10K project. It's literally someone from ETH has like come over and gone, this is what we're going to try and do to capture people buying and selling it, which is kind of shit to see as like a top collection, because you just think, well, this isn't really like BTC at all. But like, like people will speculate, but the best use of BRC20s are on a centralized exchange. The best use of ordinals currently are on Magic Eden, which was not even a BTC platform. So like, and I think the ordinal value has had a smaller time frame for extrapolation in comparison to ETH. So like when you look at ETH, you could be like, oh, you could buy a punk like in 2017 for $5,000 and then, or whatever it was, and then wait until 2022 and then sell it for like $1 million. Whereas like everything has been a crowded trade on ordinals, with the fact that most market caps are quite big. The Runestone one, for example, was airdropped and is currently like one of the largest NFT collections in existence, and it's only been around for a short period of time. So it's like and I was speaking to Dark about this, maybe I'm not sure if it was Dark, but I wrote it down. I was essentially like, the trade isn't to buy in anticipation of the native people coming to do the speculative things. It's to buy before the people that have the thought that native people will come and do the speculative things on there, like the BTC DeFi summer. So it's like the re-rating of stacks, right? So you're essentially like front running the people that will come in and think stacks is worth a lot more because it's comparison to ETH. And I think that's where this goes kind of wrong in the thought process, because it depends what a BTC DeFi summer looks like. If runes have some sort of functionality where native Uniswaps can be built out or native makers can be built out and like a stable coin can get issued off this then yeah, it's a different ball game. But if it's just another copy and paste of BRC20s with a slightly better functionality, then it's not a BTC DeFi summer. It's just another way for liquidity to get locked in an illiquid state, because that's what essentially BRC20s are. It's an illiquid state on chain without the necessary tools. So there's no blur for you to be able to get in and out of positions. But there are, like with that, with those tokenomics or environments, you can look to capture upside. It's just like Dark was asking me about it the other day. He's like, why aren't node monks or Bitcoin puppets a lot higher if this is the punks and BSC of Bitcoin? And it's like that sort of thinking where it's too easy to think that, right? Like you can't just anticipate that this will be another ETH summer on here, because it's a crowded trade and people have already like tried to take bets or like flood the market in different areas.
I spoke to him about that last night as well, and I said my view on the reason why it's not higher is the people that are playing the game are the small subset of ETH natives that know how to play the game.
That's what I was about to say as well.
Yeah, but that's the other issue. So you're dealing with ETH natives, not even the BTC natives.
Exactly.
Because most BTC natives aren't going to sell their BTC. They're like, I will never sell my BTC. I'm never using my BTC. I'm never doing anything. I'm hodling it.
Yeah, so exactly.
I mean,
that
there's a few like whale BTC maxis. Like you saw it. Like that one dude, Zeus or whatever his name is, he bought like fucking a bunch of node monks, spent like 2, 3, 4 mil. I don't know what he spent, but yeah.
Exactly that train of thought is exactly why what I think is going on, and the reason why it hasn't reached the price appreciation. But what I'm saying is, at some point in time, like down the line, the price appreciation or they will have enough time to digest the idea that it's okay for them to speculate with it, because Bitcoin
it's on their chain.
Yeah, because it's on their chain, and it's ranged enough, and everything else is moving. And the same FOMO that you get from like retail that wants to like come in and buy crypto, you'll get the same FOMO from BTC natives to go, hey, I'm not actually touching a quote unquote shit coin in order to play this game. I'm still doing it within my own chain. And they suddenly settle on the idea that it's okay to do it because I'm adding value to the chain, and they'll create some sort of justification why it's
fees
okay.
Or something.
Fees, whatever it is.
Because that was the big thing with Ordinals of like, oh yeah, well like, fuck it, like fees are up. It's good for miners, etc.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, at that point in time, when those people that aren't willing to speculate now are finally willing to speculate, that's the point in time when these things blow off. And when they do blow off, they will blow off, and then they'll correct super hard, much like the ETH ones did. But like, you know, the ETH ones took just as long a time to sort of happen, or like in terms of an NFT perspective, as sort of where we're sitting now. Like the ETH ones didn't blow off until much later in the 2021 cycle, right? Like apes, punks, all of that really only took off towards the June, July, August, September, October period of the cycle. They didn't happen from 2020 onwards. So if you look at it in terms of like halvings, like as the time frames, like none of that shit happened until the end. So I guess what I'm getting at is a lot of this stuff, whilst people are trying to front run the trade now, and I think the people that are trying to front run the trade now aren't going to be the ones that hold the trade from now until then. There'll be a couple, but what I'm saying is at some point in time, these things will sort of go stupid. Picking the right one will be a lot harder, but they will go stupid simply because the native holders will eventually decide, hey, I want to get more BTC. This is a way for me to get more BTC because I'm doing it natively on my own chain. This is taking off now. It's a little bit more widely accepted. I feel a little bit more comfortable doing so. So that's my train of thought.
Yeah, I could see like a whole process of it being like it's hype now, and sort of like Solana shitcoin seasons where it like takes a break for like 2-3 months and then it like picks up again, but it like continues to slowly trend higher. So yeah, like we might be in a parabolic move right now, and then like sort of like what happened with puppets. I mean, there wasn't a big break, but like a node, like they dipped a bit, and then now, you know, puppets are going up a lot. So I don't know. It's hard to tell really what's gonna happen, but because like my thought process is a lot of BTC maxis won't do anything because they're like, oh, I just gotta hold all my Bitcoin. But then I agree with Wonel in the sense that eventually if BTC starts ranging and these keep going up in price and they're more widely accepted, maybe some will, play the game.
I think there's enough like transition from motherfuckers kind of holding BTC. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna sit in the middle of the fence on this one.
But also
I've already seen shit like with Thorchain, like people were already like, oh yeah, we could lend our BTC again. And you're seeing that become like a bit of a narrative of like, oh, what if we just kind of used it a little bit? Not a lot, but just a little bit. It's like, okay.
I think also a lot of people like that obviously that are not BTC maxis are just like they know how to do everything in crypto. Like they know how to fucking play around on every single chain. So the ones that like want to speculate will just like, they're doing it now, but there's probably more to come if it goes slightly higher. Like people will just come in because they know how to do it. It's quite easy to fucking play around with this shit if you're a crypto native, I guess. Even though it looks confusing, but at the same time, yeah, I agree as well with Swiss on a few points that
I definitely agree with Swiss.
It seems like a crowded trade. I get that as well.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm in the middle as well. So.
Yeah, I agree with Swiss. Like fundamentally,
I have no opinion. I agree with everyone.
I think like
there's like points I agree with on each.
Yeah, like definitely. I definitely agree with Swiss, and I that was the viewpoint I held probably up until recently. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, like this kind of does remind me of where we were ETH-wise in the late cycle, and I'm seeing like the similar things play out, and then the same sort of discussion points play out, because like NFTs were like kind of how I made my first little bit of money, and I was late to the cycle last time, and NFTs didn't take off properly up until late in the cycle. But there were periods in 2020 and 2021 where NFTs were like talked about, and then they had these like mini cycles and people were like front running it, and then it didn't work out so well, and then the next round came up. So I don't necessarily think like the current version of the NFTs that are out now, like the Node Monks and all of that, will be the ones, but there will be some that'll end up being like determined by the community as the originals or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Like I think the Node Monks are fucking stupid personally, but
yeah, so like NFTs on Bitcoin will be larger in market cap than probably most of ETHs, by like the sheer fact of the historical representation of what some of these inscriptions actually mean. But it's almost as if that in it, like how do I explain this? You could probably start going down that path and buying the things that you think will be valuable in a longer time frame than just one cycle, because the inscription numbers are never going to change, right? So if you can buy something that is like in the sub 10k or sub 1k, you could hold that for 3 cycles and it'll be significantly more valuable than probably a lot of the fads that will come and go, like the runes and stuff like that. But it's that sort of stuff that'll be forever around, that people will probably draw to over multiple cycles because of its cultural and historical significance. It's like the perfect mid-curve paradise for where you can go collect uncommon sats, rare sats, and then all of the cool stuff that are in the lower end of the range. Because the other thing too is, if there is a BTC DeFi summer, or whatever you want to call it, where transactions heat up, the ability for people to bring new projects onto the chain gets a lot harder because it's a lot more expensive. So it actually ends up making the ones that are currently around, that do have strong communities, strong brand, strong whatever, it makes them a whole lot more valuable, because it like just over time, like if a lot more fees, a lot more transaction volume, it's going to be a lot harder to mint on chain. Those things just seem like the better option, right? Whereas like on ETH, yeah, you can have high minting fees and all that sort of jazz, but I feel like you can keep bringing out lots of stuff on ETH, and henceforth, kind of, if you want to look at like overall market caps, if this is probably the best way to look at it, if you want to look at all of digital artwork on NFTs for ETH versus for Ordinals, it's like the market cap can, like the FDV can keep increasing for ETH, whereas like BTC can't. So it adds like this additional layer of like, oh, well, if it costs $50,000 to bring 1,000 images on chain for BTC, and like we can only recoup the costs by making our mint prices like 0.1 BTC, which is too expensive, then all of this stuff that's already on chain that already has artwork potential is just increasingly more value because it's already there to buy and pick up. So it's like, that's where I think the biggest opportunity is when it comes to Ordinals, is buying the really good stuff now and just holding it for multiple cycles. But that's saying that we don't die from nuclear war and BTC doesn't go to zero. So
that's a high bet, yeah.
Oh shit! Someone's in the
Someone's in the
shit.
chat. Hold on.
We have a guest.
We have a
Movie.
guest. Let me you can talk now. I'll get you set up.
He's probably like a 15-year-old, right? He's like
Yeah.
past his bedtime.
Oh my god, he's in a voice stocks. Oh my god.
It's happening.
He's gonna be like, "What's up, guys? How are ya?"
Yeah, it's fucking Smoothie here. What's good? What's good?
Oh, he's gone. We bullied
Oh,
him.
It wasn't working.
He's sick about shit. He doesn't want to borrow it.
Oh my god, they're telling me off.
He's gonna try his phone.
Imagine
He said.
jumping on some.
Okay, he's gonna try again, boys. Take 2.
Fuck yeah, special guest Smoothie. Nice. Do we know anything about Smoothie? Is this the
He's
Rog?
the Rog. He's the Rog in real life.
I just know that he's an in real life Rog, like how I'm an in real life bear. So
An IRL Rog. Fuck yeah.
yeah, it's good. Here we go.
Hey, the Rog's back.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh wait, I heard something.
I heard a thing.
Okay, I've muted the stream, so we should be good to go.
Oh,
Fuck
sick.
yeah.
He's in. Let's go.
How are you guys? Thank you for having me on.
Ah, good man.
Mate.
Good to have you.
We're the ones who have been desperately trying to get people to come on. So no, it's good to have a member of the Oz CT community. in
Come
the
on.
chat.
Fuck yeah.
Indeed. And I'm glad I made it in time for some Bitcoin chat. I've been loving the Bitcoin shitters.
You have been. You have been.
we've been discussing that actually. So
What are your thoughts on
Ball has been hitting it.
on all of that
Yeah.
shit at the moment, dude?
I mean, I heard a bit of what you guys were saying. I mean, looking at like the PUPS market cap, it feels kind of hot, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking like if we get enough volume going and we can get on some centralized exchanges, then the kind of like friction playing like the Unisat game and like buying, you know, the ordinals for exposure can kind of like keep the ball rolling. So I'm kind of like excited to see what happens at like the halving, and I don't know. It's I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm trying to like, you know, hold on to my pups. The you know, the game's still going strong, and yeah, let's just see what happens.
Do you think that like BTC natives want to speculate on this shit, or it's going to be mostly ETH natives and Sol people, or like other chains that people come across?
people that don't like selling their Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel like it's very much just like Solana shitters have bridged over, and they're just like, all right, Solana's dead for a bit, so let's play this, you know, shitter game. But I don't know. Like, I feel like that's kind of like the thesis everyone says is like, you know, Bitcoin maxis have so much, you know, untapped capital. But I don't really follow many like Bitcoin maxis, to be fair. So like, I have no idea if
I have no idea
with those people. So, I mean, if we can get them on board, I mean, that's kind of like the Bitcoin maxi style, right? Is they just like, you know, absolutely diamond hand and don't spend on anything. Like, I feel like this is kind of like almost like Bitcoin turning into ETH. So I kind of feel like they're probably going to be, you know, avoiding this shit at all costs. But, you know, if we can convert some people, then multi-billions. Pups to 1 Bitcoin.
Pups to 1 Bitcoin, please.
One pup,
pup,
1 BTC.
Yeah, literally.
that'd be
fuck
crazy.
Yeah,
Nice.
Smoothie. What's the Smoothie law? What's the deal? How'd you? I am curious. How'd you get involved in the first place? And
Yeah, tell us your.
Yeah.
It's always good to know like how you got
Okay.
involved in crypto.
because you're
and
a good
what.
IRL Rog, so I'm like, what's going on?
Exactly. I mean, there's been like multiple phases. I mean, like to the point where I've been a Rog for like what, like a year, 2 years is, you know, that's pretty silly at this point. But look, I just like had this one mate who was just like, a massive, crypto nerd. Like I swear it's like 90% of everything he talks about. And I think he just like ground me down at a certain point. And then I don't know. I remember I had like the old block folio. Like that was the good old days.
That was good. That was the good days.
Dude, I missed that app so much. So I had
Dude.
I don't know, I think I threw like $100 on that. And I bought XVG because like the thesis was they have a new website. And the coin pumped so hard, bro. Like you can look back on the charts to like 2017, like the XVG website pump. It did like a 10, 20x. And I was just like, bro, this is the first coin I've ever bought. I've turned like $100 into a K. And then I think from that point onwards, as soon as we all have that one big hitter, it's like it's over from there. We're in for life.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no
Don't
more
forget
8% SPX returns after crypto. I can't handle getting low percentage returns anymore.
Yeah, I physically could not deal with 10% yearly gains. I'm ruined.
Like even sports betting now, like I feel like
Same. I used to be
I try and chuck like $5 on and something like the returns for like a 20x is like the returns are just silly when you look at like Solana shitters. They're just like not enticing at all.
It's crazy. Like I used to be. That's how I like sort of started in crypto. I was like, first of all, I was like a sports and horses gambler, and then now I'm looking at it back, and I'm like, if I'm gonna chuck like $200 on a horse, like I could just chuck $200 on a Solana shitter, and like the upside is like so much higher.
And you have charts.
Exactly.
It's not
And
just like,
also,
oh, well,
even if
that's
I'm
it.
wrong, I could like charts. Or even if I'm wrong, like
You have charts.
it could either get out of it or I could just hold it, and then there's a potential for it to even go up again. So it's like I don't know what the point of. Yeah, Solana shit is best return on investment
For sure.
for gambling.
How are we feeling about our popping cats and our Solana time?
I haven't looked at my Phantom wallet.
We're not saying that word at the moment.
I looked at Bybit, saw popcat. I'm like, I'm not opening my Phantom wallet, but that's okay. We hold it.
Yeah, it's been a little bit
puppeting
rough.
will be
Like the
violent when
high
it comes.
My the day before like everything nuked, I was like gonna sell all of my popcat and like put it all into PUPS, and I was like, nah, I gotta stay true to the cause, and I kind of wish I did now.
I think yeah. So I wish I did something like that, but I was thinking in my head as well. I'm like, if I sell and it goes to $1 and I didn't capture this move, and everyone in the fucking CT cabal got it, I would have killed myself.
100%.
I'm like.
Do you ever feel that like sometimes when like you join in a coin like with the bros that like you feel bad selling it because all of the bros are in it?
Oh, definitely. Dude, I can no longer I can't sell the cat until we're all out. I'm like, well,
I'm actually gonna ride this to zero.
$5.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, nice. Is there what's like outside of Bitcoin stuff at the moment, Smoothie? Like, is there anything that's like piquing your interest a little bit? Like, what's your like giga brain play?
Look, I mean, I don't know if I've got any giga brain plays. I've kind of got like bags that I'm praying every night that don't go to zero, but
like
as many of us are, indeed. I mean, I've got like a bit of Tau. I mean, I was up like bigly on the Binance listing, and like I was out at the time, so I didn't get the chance to like. Oh, really? Fuck.
No, I mean, I didn't. I sold it, and then I sold it, and then it just did its pumped all-time high, and I'm like, oh fuck. But I mean, I didn't know. I had like 15 or 16 or something. I had like nothing. It was like 20 grand worth or something. But yeah, I moved all that capital, added a bit more capital, and put it into FET. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, AI coins. It's like, I mean, they had that.
They're meme coins, so yeah.
They are meme coins. And it feels like maybe Sam Altman raising $7 trillion might top us out for a little bit. But look, if you can pump it up to 8-9 trillion, or if he actually raises that money, then
if he raises anything over $1 trillion, I'll be honestly so surprised. Like that would be insane. Like how he could just. Because I saw an interview and it was like him he was like pitching his ideas to a bunch of VCs, but he's not telling him how he's going to be profitable or if there's even going to be profitability. He's just like yeah, so AI, it's gonna revolutionize the world.
It's going to be good stuff.
Gonna be good, but I don't know about any profitability. They're all just sitting there like, wait, you want $8 trillion? But yeah, hopefully he gets it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. What
Someone
about
get
the
this guy $8 trillion.
Someone turn the
please.
printer on again, please.
the Swiss just dropped it in the chat, but the sockets. I know that you're the reason I aped into that.
Oh yeah, what's
Like
going on there? A bunch of you guys have one, and I missed out.
I found them a while back, and I think I bought it at like 0.4, and then I went down to 0.1, and then I never looked at it again. But they just look so funny. Where
Yeah, they
it's
do.
like they just look hell funny. I didn't know what they were, and then I realized that I saw someone on Twitter called Glug posting a lot, and he had one, and I thought it was just hilarious. And then I was like, I bought it, and I was like, I need to find the right like social media platform to have this as my PFP, because I was like, I feel like this needs to be showed somewhere. But apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, Wonel, but these are the same artist that did the puppets.
Smoothie can probably talk to that more than me. That's I bought because of him.
That's what I understand. I mean, that's what I bought them for. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's the same artists. I mean, in terms of like my information's only as good as just like random anonymous people on Twitter, as you know, most of our information is. But
That's all of us,
that is
yeah.
my-
Best source of truth, honestly.
exactly. I mean, you know, that's gospel. But yeah, I mean, like it was kind of just like I don't know, like the Bitcoin puppet artist catch-up play. I mean, like everything he's doing at the moment is turning to gold. So I was just like, look, even if they look like shit, I'd still probably have bought them. But because they look so hilarious, and like somehow I just missed them. Like I'd never seen them before I like investigated them, you know, like probably a week ago. And I just went through the collection, and it's just like, like the vibe check is just right. Like they're just like every single one is just like funny in their own way. Like, so that's kind of the thesis, just like puppet, you know, affiliation play. Plus, they're like really funny to have as a social media PFP.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they've done all right. They've done all right.
Chris, didn't you share those ages ago?
Yeah, I just like posted it because I wanted one with the gun, because I think this
Actually,
like there was
I
a
remember.
sell-off.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is cool because it looks like he's pointing the gun, and you like you say like, you know, don't sell here or something like that. But yeah, I came across them ages ago. I thought they were funny, and then bought them, and then didn't really check them again. And then yeah, they've sort of popped up out of nowhere. Then realized that it was done by the Bitcoin puppets. But you guys didn't hear that I actually orchestrated this the whole time. I knew this was a catch-up trade, like Smoothie said.
man.
So best to ever do it, of course.
Isn't there a
greatest.
popcat
Zilly
like
again.
trait as well? If I'm
Yeah,
not
as
mistaken.
soon as the chat saw the popping cat, it was over from there.
Oh man, they're so fucking good. They're so good. I'm a big fan. Yeah, here's one popcat, fucking great.
There it is.
Yeah. Can't not have it.
But like outside of that, I mean, like it feels like it's all Bitcoin, and then like, you know, SOGs is pretty much like all I'm really paying attention to, other than the penguins, obviously. But
Yeah.
Mm.
you haven't seen
Penguins have
much else of it
rough.
in the NFT space.
Yeah,
penguins have been a
bit rough recently.
I think penguins just suffering from the on the wrong chain syndrome.
Suffering from success. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue. But
But,
yeah, nah, penguins solid.
We're
holding up
currently
alright.
0.01 ETH ahead of the board apes, so we Gucci boys.
That's all that matters. That's all
Take that.
I don't know why these like market makers or I don't know ape maxis are just trying to like keep their floor higher than the penguins. It's like quite obvious that we're just gonna fucking run past them when the conditions are right for ETH. But I don't know. They're stubborn. They're held from 158th. So
The other ones that have been doing slightly good recently have been like the Remilios and the Milady collection.
Miladies have been doing good. I think Miladies do well when like a shitcoin season is coming to an end or something, and they've made like a lot of money because like Miladies love fucking shitcoining, and then they like put all their profits into fucking
buying more
Miladies.
Miladies.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I've always noticed that like whenever Pepe and shit pumps or whatever. But yeah, pretty funny because they're all fucking ETH. I mean, like Pepe is like the native ETH meme coin, so it's like they all. When Pepe was pumping, that's when like Milady started to go back up. Pretty funny.
I was speaking to Dark last night, and as we were speaking, we sort of both came to a similar conclusion, and I'd be curious to think if you guys would agree. But given like the dump that we saw the last couple of days, do you think that like so I think what sparked the conversation was around like the potential upside for Bitcoin and how most people discount the Bitcoin upside because historically it's been like the base and then everything else has been like beta to Bitcoin. But obviously being beta means that like it's beta to the upside, but also beta to the downside. But do you think that like at some point people will in this cycle people will start going, why am I allowing myself to draw down so much on all of these coins? Like Bitcoin's doing so well. Like Bitcoin didn't get like a 20-30% correction, like it got like a 6 or 7% correction, or like probably a bit more now, because we spoke last night before the bigger dump. But like like its corrections have been relatively muted in comparison to everything else. So do you think that like given all the recent activity with the L2 stuff and the NFTs and then all of this, people are just going to go like, I'm just going to hold Bitcoin again because Bitcoin's now cool. But then that ends up causing like the quote unquote blow off top on Bitcoin, which like sends it to like
dominance
2,
is like
3,
really
4,
high right
5x. Yeah, I'm thinking like
I'm
higher
thinking
targets.
like even my brain, I was like talking about it yesterday with you guys. I'm like, dude, Bitcoin has like infinite bids. And I was like in my head, I'm like, fuck, I should have just like become a BTC maxi. So it was like I'm thinking that like it would be smart to put all my capital into just BTC, which I'm not gonna do, obviously.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I do it, it'll fucking alts will run. But
Yeah.
but like I'm starting to feel that like sense like that sense right now. So I mean, I don't know, maybe Bitcoin dominance just keeps ripping even higher, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping eventually like alts are down so bad to a point, like most alts are down like 50, 60, some are down like 70% from all-time highs. And like not just like fucking small market cap alts, like alts that are like billion-dollar valuations are down like 50, 60%. So like even FET, which was been like a right curve play for the last couple months, is down like was down over 50% like a couple hours ago. So I feel like there has to be some sort of mean reversion on alts.
What do you reckon, Smoothie? Sorry, Sticks, you keep going.
No, I'm finished. Yeah, sorry. You go, Smoothie.
Yeah, I mean, like I actually sort of moved some of my alts into Bitcoin before the Giga Nuke because, like, not because it was a really intelligent play on like dampening the downside, but actually because I thought Bitcoin was just going to rip to new all-time highs, and it kind of felt like Bitcoin was starting to suck the liquidity out of alts. So I was kind of thinking like, you know, like if Bitcoin was going to rip to new all-time highs, it kind of feels like, I could be wrong, but in like past cycles when it rips super hard, everyone just starts getting, you know, FOMO on the price discovery. So that was kind of my thesis, is like, you know, you'd ride that wave, you know, to the new all-time highs, and then when it looks like it's cooling off a little bit, then reallocate to alts. But on the opposite side, it's kind of like dampen the downside, and now it feels like alts are like really undervalued. Like it feels like stuff on like Solana that hit massive support on like 130-ish. Like that's starting to look really attractive, and like the Bitcoin ETH pairs as well has me tempted again. But yeah, at the same time, I'm kind of just like holding, waiting to see how it plays out, and yeah, giving the market a bit of time to, you know, show its hand before I make those moves. But yeah, alts are starting to look, you know, the right ones look like, you know, massive value. You know, considering I'm assuming we're all of the opinion that you know the cycle has a lot of legs left in it.
For sure. Except for Swiss calling the top in the last pod, but anyway.
Yeah, perfectly doing it as well.
I actually agree. I reckon the
nailed
alts are so undervalued right now. Maybe I'm mid curving it, but I like Sol at like 130 for the amount of like stuff that's going on Sol. I mean, maybe we'll take a break from Sol season because everything nukes, but like the amount of shit that was going on Sol, and for it to be like at 120 or something, like I don't know, 12 hours ago or something, it's pretty attractive.
Yeah. Hsaka showed his entries at like, what was like 115. Like, I don't know. He must have been like busted or something.
How do you get that?
That's a ridiculous entry, dude.
Oh, he's already up like, oh, I actually hate him.
Hate that guy.
115
every single bottom. It's infuriating.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna from now on like just set fucked bids at like ridiculously cheap prices and pray I get the wick. But then I will never do it. I know I won't, but They always happen. These wicks always fucking.
I reckon what
cascade
he
all the way
does
down.
though is probably not like set limits or anything there. I reckon what he does is he just has like alerts set. And then like if there's like a certain percentage move that like happens in a short period of time, like we sort of had last night, where like you get these overextended moves to the downside, and it probably works to the upside too, right? Where it's like, holy shit, like this was a 20-30% move down, this is where I bid. And because he has like that like capital just like put aside ready for those moments, that's when he just like fucking apes in and like just chads it. And then if your whole game as a trader, like if you take the investor mindset away, but if you just go, I'm trading, I've got to get the cheapest price possible and sell at the highest price possible, in like a shorter period of time, like you just have this like capital stack just sitting there. And then at those like few moments in a year that you get these like huge percentage moves down, you just fucking shove it in. You capture that like, you know, quick upside. He's probably already like sold off a bit of percentage of like those entry
Yeah, he's probably
prices.
sold fucking most of it.
But like I feel like it's like the Donald style, right? Like Donald is, you know,
he's
people
so patient.
people love him because like he comes in at those like key moments where it's like definitely overextended, like to the downside, and then makes those big plays, and that's what he gets known for. But then he gets shit on like a week or two later because he sells like for like a 10, 20, 30% like move, rather than like capturing that bottom entry price and like riding it all the way up. But I feel like it's just like a different way to trade. Like you're just a lot more patient, wait for these outsized moves, like pick up the free money off the floor and then play the game from there.
Yeah.
But like, I wish that I had that ability because I'm not
Same.
patient.
We all.
My dopamine levels are fucked, so I don't think I'll ever. I'm never gonna be like Donald to a point where I'll like wait weeks on end for a massive liquidation event and then just ape that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I hope I got a good entry on FET. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But everything looks so fucking bad. Like the alt looks terrible. So, and you know what? Everyone on the timeline is also saying, "Oh my god, imagine what alts are going to be like if BTC goes into the 50s." Like that's the sentiment that I've like noticed, and it's like, oh, like that is like, I mean, it's not a bottom signal, but it's like everyone is literally like scared to like fucking
Isn't it
bid
like
these some of these alts.
cantering
I mean,
Clark?
after the GCR tweet, a lot of that changed, but yeah, I don't know.
Generational pico bottom.
What do we think about that GCR tweet? We didn't really talk about it yet.
I can't believe Vivek is back.
He's back, yeah.
It's good. I'm just surprised.
Dude, it got so much engagement. I just checked it before. It has like 40,000 likes or something.
Holy shit.
What? Wait, let me have a look. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up now.
41,000 likes.
41,000
What?
likes.
Holy shit!
Look how much I've never seen that kind of engagement on a crypto tweet before. What
It's
the
actually
Elon's
insane.
Stimmy is going to be huge.
Oh, I know. The dude's already rich. He doesn't need a stimmy.
And there's already like the top comments like a scam tweet. Like when I look at it on the Brotato account.
Oh,
Like
my
GC.
Thank you, Elon, for solving the bot problem.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad that got fixed up. You know,
It's unironically gotten worse. Like,
he actually met like it's gotten only like if you look at airdrops, like
oh,
whenever an
God.
airdrop happens,
God.
holy
Dude,
shit!
unless
dude.
the airdrop's like $10,000 or like a couple $1,000s, I ain't connecting. Like, I'm too scared. Like, I just want my airdrops like dime. Don't fucking do this shit connecting bullshit with me.
Yeah,
I'll
literally
fat
just
finger
face
the wrong
palm it
one.
in.
I know I will. My penguin will be gone forever.
Animate my penguin.
Yeah, animate my penguin. Fucking hell.
Jeez. I did have some thoughts on this. I spoke with maybe it was you, Tom, about this thing. I feel like there needs to be a change in state with people how they view the markets, because people outside of crypto think that it goes up and goes down and you just never sell because it'll eventually go up again. But I think that's like a general understanding that they have across the board. Whereas like the BTC maxis have, everything's a shitcoin and will go down against BTC. And then
Which is true. Over the long term, everything will go down.
yeah. So basically my dream scenario is tech corrects, BTC and ETH keep going up, making your highs. Alts make new lows against BTC and ETH, and then a change in state happens where, because ETH and BTC have the ETF inflows, it's now a consensus trade and everyone piles in. which is a good thing. I don't think that's the top. It's just that the alt season is apparently, like, if you look across the board, it may not have been going up at the same period of time that BTC has gone up. So maybe there's only a few that have gone up with BTC and then outperformed, such as like Inge, for example. So that the Inge trade from like early 2023 up until maybe December would have been the best way to outperform BTC, but that would have been a small percentage of what the actual market was doing. So if you were buying stuff that was going up against BTC and ETH, that's like good. And then you're just going to try, like, I don't know how to trade this, but like you kind of want those to continue going up against BTC over the long run, because it's going to get a lot harder if there is a change in state, and the ETF inflows, as well as like outside market consensus, is that BTC and ETH are the ones that you only buy and hold if you want to have like that 2% portfolio structure. And that's where it's like kind of, it might be a PvP environment for a lot of the other stuff, like Sol memes or ETH memes or ETH DeFi, Sol DeFi, or whatever you want to really nitpick and have a look at, Ordinals or Runes. And like maybe the best way to be playing 2024 or 2023 was to be taking profits and just keep rotating back into BTC and ETH if they are going to have the infinite bid to new highs. But I don't know, like we'll have to wait and see, but I'd love for people to stop holding like Shiba Inu and thinking, oh yeah, it'll come up again. I just want them to start going, if I had converted this to BTC and ETH, I'd be in a much better position, and I need them to like capitulate and then like stop caring about SHIB. And then that's when I feel like that would be like the golden opportunity for alts, because now it's like normies coming up to you being like, oh, why are you holding an alternative cryptocurrency in comparison to these two? Because those two are the best ones. And it's like, well, you know, I just want to hold this until you come and buy it because you want to make lots of money. So I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think anyway. I don't know what will happen.
I agree. Like in that rotating, like if you make good money on like a coin. I mean, I'm not very good at it. Like doing the whole narrative trade rotation, like it hurts my brain, and I'm not good at it, so I don't do it. But yeah, that's a good strategy if you are good at it, just rotating back into BTC, I guess. But because of the infinite bid, but yeah, I'm not good at that. So
I think that goes to like my earlier point, just around like I really think this cycle's top will be, like somewhat of a top will be the fact that everyone eventually capitulates into BTC. Like because last cycle it was like the opposite. Like everyone went to everything else other than BTC, because you know, BTC didn't move as much, and it became like the most over allocated asset. And I feel like ETH's kind of that most over allocated asset this cycle.
Yeah.
And I feel like BTC is probably the most under allocated asset this cycle. So because I think it's the most exactly, right. So like if CT's under allocated, retail's not going to come to BTC first, because they're going to go, well, you know, BTC's, I'm only going to get a 2x because everyone, like I'm retail, I'm now going on social media, everyone's talking about everything other than BTC, because okay, the cycle top on BTC is like 120k. That's what everyone's talking about. So fuck that. I want to get Solana because Solana is $150 to $1,000. So I'm going to go play that, or I'll go play XRP or Cardano or whatever the fuck people are going to buy. But like, if BTC moves in a way that like forces people to capitulate back into BTC, because it's the thing that underperforms on the downside, because it doesn't drop as much, and then outperforms on the upside, then people are going to go, fuck, why am I holding all of this like vaporware when I could just hold Bitcoin, because it's got the infinite bid, it's got the ETF. Like, I don't think the ETF happens anytime soon. So like, you know, the BTC allocation just makes a lot of sense. That moment that everyone has that realization, and I'm starting to see a little bit of it on the timeline, and I'm feeling it myself. Sticks, you mentioned that you're feeling it yourself. Like, I think that's going to be like the cycle top moment. This cycle,
100%, yeah,
for sure.
I saw Based, what's his name? Based 16Z, like makes really good tweets. And he like said altcoins, like he just did like a little post about altcoins, like we didn't build anything new or exciting, maybe some AI coins. Idealist got rich off where is it? Oh, and then he wrote, we marked up private rounds for retarded reasons, narratives, betas, market comps, low float is worse than ever. So like, so there's so much capital just like scattered like in between. Like think about it, there's so much capital in like nothing alts from last cycle, like Polkadot, Cardano, like all these like alts that did well last cycle, but like they're never going to catch a bid this cycle because they're not new or like innovative or anything. They're not doing anything good. Then we've got like obviously AI coins, which like they're memes. They're like memes. Like AI is a meme, so like they'll probably do as well. They'll do similar to what memes will do. And then it's like aside from that, it's like everything else is so overvalued. Like I saw a comparison. I think Chris, what's his name? Chris Byrne. What's his name?
Bernanke?
Yeah, Bernanke, yeah. He did like it was the stupidest comparison I've ever seen. And I'm like a tier bull, and he said like, oh, like tier is like Sol, it drawed down 75%, then did 100x. I'm like, bro, Sol's market cap was like 90 million at that point. Like tier's market cap is like 15 times that. Like you can't compare like the same. Like you're saying, oh, like the next 100x, blah blah. It's like, bro, some of these coins are just so overvalued. You're not going to get like a 50x on these coins. Like,
and what's Tier's FTV? Like I know it's a meme.
It's like 10 billion. I mean, it is a meme, but it's not at the same time. Like,
yeah,
it is if like you're overthinking it like at the start or when the unlocks come. But like people trying to front run the unlocks, like it's not a meme because like people are just like the price has gone up. Like when it was like $20, like it started to sell off, blah blah. You could tell, like, I mean, in hindsight you could tell because like obviously I couldn't tell, but like people were just like trying to front run the unlocks. And obviously we had the people. I didn't actually know this. I didn't know they could sell their staking yield. So like I was in this. I had no idea. Like so like
yeah, 90 million been sold already.
So you had like all these wallets, like huge wallets with like I don't know 500k tier or whatever, just like dumping on every rip into them. So like all these projects are just like structurally terrible and they don't do anything new or innovative. Whereas like last cycle, everyone like believed that crypto was like innovative. Whereas now, like most people don't believe that. They just want to make money. So they buy either memes or AI coins. And then you've got actual flows into like an institutional asset, BTC, which is getting an infinite bid. So it's like structurally BTC will just keep ripping higher, in my opinion. Everything else, aside from like AI memes, I don't even know what's going to happen. So, and like even the good like coins that are like have good narratives, I don't even know if they can rip really high because of like their FTVs and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think people need to like adjust their like. Yeah, you can get a 10x on these coins. I don't know if you can get a fucking. You're not getting a 100x on some of these FTV tokens. It's just impossible.
Yeah, I just put up on the chart on tier and like on CoinMarketCap, which there was a dude on Twitter that came out the other day. I don't know if you've seen him, but he was like apparently like a whale that like made a lot of money on meme coins and stuff over the last few years. And he said that people like normies don't use CoinGecko, CT uses CoinGecko, everyone uses CoinMarketCap. So I've made it a little bit of an effort to use CoinMarketCap instead. But
but I like Gecko.
Yeah.
I mean, I have both.
I'm like, oh,
yeah. But
it's cute.
Yeah, it's cute. Like, why wouldn't you use the cute one?
He's my cute little guy. Oh, man.
But like, if you look at the market cap chart rather than the price chart on tier at the same price level from back in January, like market cap wise, we're sitting higher than we were back on the January 4th, right? But then if you
what was the price of it on January 4th?
At January 4th, it was $11.80, and at the moment it's $10.90. So the inflation from the so like there's the unlocks, but then there's also the inflation from like the yield from the token yield. So like market cap wise, we're higher than we were, but price wise, we're not. And the chart that's like one of the most egregious for it, which I'm still
egregious is a good word.
That's why I needed like a coin that had good unlocks like FET, because I was like, I already have a coin that doesn't have good unlocks. I need one that's like 80% like the supply is being dumped onto the market, like World G, like god.
So fucking Lido, $2 right now.
Oh god, Lido. I saw someone in my friend tech group chat sent me a screenshot of like the Lido support group CT chat, and it's just all these dudes like aped more at 190. Like I was like,
Like look at this shit on Lido, dude. Like it is like if you look at the price chart and then you look at the fucking market cap chart, it's fucking ridiculous. Like if you just look at it
The
from
different
like
coins.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually insane. What the hell?
it's actually cooked, dude. Like it's like I
Can have
didn't.
to prison.
Yeah,
That's why
can
I
have to
think
prison.
these coins will need like a really strong narrative. Like I don't know if Ondo, like if BlackRock chill the fuck out of like the real world narrative, I guess Ondo will do right. But like even
Yeah.
Ondo has a really fucked FDV and like everything's just like so it's like you can't get these like good trades like the Sol trade and all that like you
Except for
couldn't.
DMT, which I would say is
Yeah.
Okay, here's
Yeah,
a more
fair enough,
egregious
yeah.
chart
I'll just
that
be a
like
fuck.
I just pulled up. It's Arbitrum, right? So
Oh, that's the
Arbitrum,
worst one. I think
dude,
Arbitrum is the
look at it.
worst one.
It is
It's
so
hard to look
bad,
at.
man.
I think out of all the VC cucked coins, like Arbitrum is like probably the worst one. Like, oh
Yeah,
my
like oh
god,
my, like if you look at the same period of time on Arb, like price wise, it was up, like in this period, but market cap wise, it was down, and then it went up.
that's
So like,
fucking wild.
dude, it's fucking insane.
I
And
saw a
then
tweet as well. It was about like how VCs they don't actually care if price dumps 90% because most of their seed round allocation they're still at like 100.
yeah,
X. So
exactly.
it's like say tier dumps to like $4 or something. I don't know. They're still up like 100x.
Oh, it's more than that. Like a lot of the
Yeah.
VCs, the early deals, it was like around about a cent
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
price.
And
yeah,
you
so
can
some of
sell
them
it
are-
OTC.
Yeah. It's like they will dump viciously, and that's what happened with Sol, I guess, as well, like last cycle. And it was just like they will just aggressively dump it no matter what, because they're
Yep.
still
Exactly.
worst case scenario. Oh no, I'm only up like 100x.
Exactly. Like
It's
and
pretty
like
funny.
so like tier like if I'm not mistaken was being sold OTC during that like $20 period like in mass. Like so
Yeah,
a lot of those VCs got to sell their tier at like maybe instead of 1 cent it was like 10 cents or like it was like $1 or something.
yeah,
But like they got to sell it to someone. They got to like buy it at like $1. Which is still like 10, 20x, or at the time would have been 20x from like where they currently bought it. They probably would have had the resources available to themselves to be able to like hedge it with like a perp short at that
yeah.
time
Everyone would have shorted it at $20.
at like $20,
As
right?
a hedge, yeah.
Exactly. And then during that whole period of time since January when it was like $20, they've got to stake it, get the yield, sell all that yield for it, and then now it's gone down like 50% from like where they put their hedges on. And then like most of the bounce that I think that we've seen now, when I was talking to you about the sticks, is probably like short closing, like to some
Yeah,
degree.
that's a 50%. Like they would have got their money because it dropped, it nuked from 20
Yeah.
to 10, round
Yeah.
number, or like you mean $8. I mean, but
Like,
like it's a
if-
round number. Like they've doubled their money or whatever.
Exactly. Like
But
it dipped to like $7.50, bro, like overnight. Like it's fucking
I saw
cooked.
that. That's crazy.
But my theory on tier now is like tier from now until October does its like $100 run, because I like Kanav or whoever's market making this fucking coin wants to get it to a point where they can dump on the latest cycle retail
Yeah,
participants.
I was speaking to Hentai Avenger about that. He said the exact same thing. He said these motherfuckers like have like need to pump it high so they can eventually have a like good X strategy. But at the same time, I have no fucking idea. But yeah, I agree. I think it's like at this point, it's like the most hated. It's one of the most hated coins on CT because everyone's staked for the airdrops after
Yeah.
Dime.
And we got one
Like, we all
airdrop.
got Dime. We all got Dime, and then they staked after Dime, and they got nothing. And all they had to do was probably buy a fucking puppet, and they would have got real actual airdrops. But yeah, I think now because it's the most hated coin, hopefully it
I
gets.
think it's a good trade from now.
Good trade, yeah.
Yeah.
I think now it is. It's down pretty bad. If it dips under like if it goes back to like $8, I'll probably if I have some capital somewhere, I might add some more. Like I'll be fucking so depressed. I'll be so depressed at that point. But yeah, I think yeah, it's not a very loved coin on the TL right now, which is Kind of bullish, I
Good.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I think
good news.
200 wallets, man. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. That whole dime. Like after dime,
they're
I remember
emotionally down.
everyone was like, "All right, I got to do this." So
Can you
everyone was
imagine
like, set
like
up
doing
20
the
wallets.
unstaking process for 200 wallets?
And you have to wait 21 days.
Can
I've
you
never seen
imagine
a
like how many
consensus
clicks?
airdrop farm like that.
Huh?
I've never seen a consensus airdrop farm like that. Like, there's
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
people who
That's what I mean.
the hours
It's
I put
like-
into this.
That's what I mean,
Well,
like,
I feel like ZK Sync was kind of like consensus airdrop farm, but like probably not
Yeah.
to the same degree that like Celestia was. And then like because ZK hasn't like dropped the token yet, like it's probably like not a bad thing to try and farm it now. But like
True.
last year, that's how I felt about ZK. Whereas like this year, it was like fucking everyone and their mama was fucking staking
Yeah.
Celestia.
The threaders were out in force.
oh my
Mm.
god, yeah, that
Yeah.
those tier like threads, I was just like,
Oh,
I
God.
swear to God, if I do not get anything decent from the Eclipse airdrop, I will neck. Because that is the only reason why I haven't like unstaked any of like my tier yet. Is like my plan was like I'm staking for Dimension and I'm staking for Eclipse. Once I've
when
got
is
those
Eclipse?
two,
Like,
they haven't
is
announced.
that
They
they
haven't
said?
announced.
Uh,
And same with
Because I
Python.
do
Good
it-
point.
because I heard about Eclipse and I'm like, that'll just be one for the future or whatever. But then Dime came around. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. We're gonna get Dime. But oh my god.
So like
Wow.
fucking I sold my Jito airdrop and I put it into mostly Pyth to get the potential Monad airdrop. And then Jito is basically at the same price that I sold it to buy Pyth at, but Pyth's now gone 50% down in the last few days. So like,
oh,
fuck
I haven't
me.
checked my pith. Is it bad?
dude, it's 60 cents.
Oh,
Let-
what?
Man.
Yeah, see, everything's just down 50%. Like,
God
it's
damn it.
crazy. Like,
General.
I couldn't believe like how badly like FET was down because it was just such a like right curve coin for so long, like the last 2 months or so. And then I looked and it was like $1.60 or something. I'm like, wait, it was like $3.50 like the other week.
Sticks, I have to
So I was
ask
like-
you, what is the thesis behind FET? Like I know you've
I
spoken
just
about it.
there is like none. It's just like it's an AI coin, and I need a good one.
cheese.
And no, I think I was more inclined to like FET because of its like circulating supply, because it was launched like in 2018 or
It's
something.
an
I don't know.
old coin, dude. I
It's
remember
been-
it
it's been
pumping
around
like
for a
last
while,
cycle.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It-
it's been around for a while. So like the circulating supply is really good. A lot of people have like capitulated over the years that were like early
Wasn't
in the
FET
ICOs and shit.
like correct me if I'm wrong, because I
It was a
remember from
Binance.
it was a Binance coin. It was
Binance
like
coin, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
launched on the Binance, like whatever their platform.
but wasn't
thing
it
was,
like a
right?
decentralized storage thing?
Yeah, it's an AI like
But
database.
it wasn't
storage.
AI before, right? It used
No,
to be.
I think they just pivoted to AI, which is very
Nice.
smart. But yeah, they were like a digital, whatever storage, like
Right.
fucking whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was trying to find. I was looking at like all AI coins. I'm like, well, I'm not buying fucking WorldCoin, even if it pumps in the short term. I'm not fucking buying that FTV because I already have a high FTV coin in tier.
Yeah.
So I was looking for one that like early investors probably dumped most of their allocation, and like FET was probably the best AI coin out there. So I was just like, yeah. I saw it today. Because I've been wanting to buy it for a long time, but I was like not willing to buy it at like $2.50, $2.70, $3. I was like, I just want like a good entry, and I never really got. I mean, I wasn't planning on buying it, and then I had a bit like this is like the last capital I really have. So it's like in like I need the rest of my money to live. So so I'm like this is the last position I'll probably take. Like unless I rotate out of a different position. So yeah.
Next week, Sticks is like, I bought $100,000 worth of Ondo.
Oh, little Larry spoke on TV. I gotta buy Ondo. Yeah, nah. I'm gonna sit on FET for a while. FET and tier are like my mid curve / right curve. Hopefully plays. We'll see what happens.
There is a AI coin on Solana. I forget the name, but it's like in something AI. I was trying to look it up, but I can't find it. But it's probably the most attractive looking AI coin I've seen. I got shielded by Dark last night, but it's kind of like
What?
decentralization of the GPU stack on AI.
Oh.
So
Is this Ionet?
Ionet, that's the one.
Ionet.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what your boy's farming with his computer right now.
Really?
Oh,
I'm gonna have a look
okay.
at this. Hold on.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
Ionet. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
yeah. I've just put it up on the screen. But it's like from a AI point
Oh.
of view, it's just like you so wait, is that why you bought your new computer, Tom?
Do you
Yeah,
need
I
a
was
strong
like,
GPU for it? Like, I have like a 3070.
it helps if you have like I fucking have no idea, but I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna get something with like a GPU to capitalize on some AI stuff, and then I was just looking around and I was like, Ionet looks pretty good. Like, and I've seen the Ionet, not the team, but I've seen people like adjacent to the team be like, oh yeah, if you set up like a worker thing, which actually requires like I mean, I'm saying it required a little bit of stuff. I'm sure if anyone knows anything about fucking computers, it's not like a big deal. But I was like, oh, geez, I have to type in commands into the computer. Oh, geez, this is a bit much. So I had a bit of a grandpa moment where I'm like, was just trying some shit. But yeah, so there was that. And then it's like you set up this worker, like, and you essentially lend your GPU power, so it fucks your internet connection. So I have to like turn it off when I do this stuff. But yeah, just leave that whirring away, and yeah, the algorithm is hungry for my GPU, so I give it that.
Do you get like
Nice.
points or something?
It's you just like collect. There's no points or anything. You just get like it just essentially says uptime. And apparently, this is again, like Smoothie said before, I'm basing all of this from anonymous people on the internet. But apparently, all that matters for the airdrop of IO is uptime.
Right.
That's
Interesting.
the metric I'm going on. Of just like the more uptime you have, the better. Like I don't know how it correlates to actual points. Sorry, to actual tokens. But yeah, that seems to be like the thing.
Nice. Nah,
Nice.
that's spot on.
But yeah,
I'll look into it actually. I'm gonna investigate that
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I got 2 shields last night. One was Ionet and the other one was Validao. Shout out to Vydamo.
Validao, is that the one that Vydamo?
Demo.
I fucking love
yeah.
Vydamo. I gotta tell you guys a funny message he wrote in my chat today, which is I pissed myself. This is what he said. I went surfing and missed the generational opportunity to swap my ETH into appreciating assets. Plus, I got rugged for like 60k overnight in some on-chain scam because they pasted the wrong link in their announcement and linked 2 projects together as clearly the same team, thus proving the lie. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Is
he like
Vydamo
always just
not like the
appears in my
best
chat and
shit
like he'll just
poster?
say like the other day he's like, I accidentally sent 20k ETH, like 5 ETH or something to an address because you use banana sniper or whatever. But like if you don't like if you're sending something and you don't paste an address, apparently after a certain amount of time it just sends to a previous address, and it was to like some pre-sale rug he sent it to. And I was like, bro. So he was like,
Imagine the dev.
and he was like
Being like,
trying
"Fuck
to like,
yeah."
he's like, okay, update. I've figured out the dev's docs, and now I'm investigating how I can get my 5 ETH back. I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
bro. Yeah,
Dang.
he's so funny. I love him. Oh.
Yeah, man, he's so good.
I just can't believe that like in the last like 3-4 weeks he's managed to like completely troll people like multiple times and they still believe it. Like he
It's
did
so
the
good.
he did the
The
SEC
Salazar
one.
one, man.
He
The
did the
Salazar
SEC
ones.
one where like he posted that fake picture around like the SEC putting a
Dude, I
document up.
believe that for like a second.
Yeah, and then like all of these like big accounts like copied the picture and then like reposted it as if it was them posting it for the first time. And then it like spread like wildfire like across like all these like big CT accounts. And then it was just him like shit posting. And then so he did that like the first time, and then it was the fucking Salazar shit. And then he hit another one. I can't remember what it was the other day, and even Kobe was like, "What the fuck? Like this guy is fucking brilliant." Like this, he just doesn't miss. Really doesn't miss. I don't know how he has the time to like write these fucking novels.
You know what's funny about Vydamo? He's doing a PhD. He's like, I think he's working as well or something. And No, sorry, he's doing a PhD, which is like I think you get paid for a PhD, because you're like doing it full time, and he's just like shit posting as well, like on the side. I'm like, what the fuck?
Look, yeah, that's so great. I just imagine him to be the most like straight up and down normal guy, like the most regular dude ever, and he's just got this secret life where he's like, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Sprinter gremlin on.
You know what I
You know
love
what he's
about
like? You know what he's like? He's probably this is how like cool I think he is. He's probably a professor at a university that talks on like runs a journalist course and talks on how like factual information needs to be vetted and verified, and then he like runs this like secret account of Vydamo online and just spreads misinformation all the time. And he gets like enjoyment out of it in this like weird
He's
sort
the
of
chief
setup that he has.
misinformation officer of CT. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I love about him as well? He never sells anything. Like he will hold coins for like months on end, and like they'll come back, and he'll be like telling people like, "Why would you sell?" Like the fact that he's held Ticker Bitcoin for this long, I'm just like, I
it's
love
so
this guy.
funny.
It's so funny, and he's like,
Unbelievable.
I love it. I love the conviction. It's so funny.
Anything from you, Sir Smoothie?
Your Rog.
I don't know, man. I've just been. I mean, I scooped some of the pizza BRC20 meme.
Yes, what's going on there? I saw that actually.
I mean, I don't really know heaps about it, other than it just feels like it's kind of like bubbling up on CT, and it's kind of like I kind of rate the whole Bitcoin pizza narrative as a meme, and it's still like relatively low market cap, and yeah, I don't know. It seems to be like building up ahead of steam, and it's kind of it's been pumping a fair bit since I bought earlier today. I bought like 1.25 ish, and I think last time I looked it was like getting to like the 1.6s, but I don't know, man. Like they're just having fun with the BRC20 game, really.
Yes.
That's
Shitcoining on Bitcoin. I'm yet to touch BRC20s, hey. Like, even when the base thing happened, I was like, oh, yeah, okay. What do you recommend for like actually trying out BRC20 shitcoining? I think I have about $200 in Bitcoin, like in a wallet, so might try and run that up.
Well, you did it on Sol, so what stops you from doing it on Bitcoin?
Yeah, let's do it. Where's the pump.fun for Bitcoin? That's what we need. Who's building this?
Who's got the Telegram bot? I need a bonk bot for fucking Bitcoin.
Oh
Jesus.
god, Bonkbot is the greatest thing. I love Bonkbot.
We love Bonkbot. Remember when there was that thing about like, the fucking exploit and it was like Bonkbot exploited?
Yeah,
And it turns out it was just some other random ass bot, like some really weird, like left of field Telegram bot. I was like, yeah, surprise. That seems like something that would do that.
Yeah,
Oh
for sure.
god, I just remember the pre-sale meta for like a week, and it was just like using Bonk. I don't know. It was just like the most chaotic, fucked period of.
Slurf was wonderful. Slurf was the hardest I've laughed in a Twitter space in a very long time.
Dude, listening to that space, I was like actually like crying of laughter. That was the
number
to a Billy.
Slurf me to a Billy. Oh man, that got me every time.
The most CT like fucking native thing possible that could have happened.
Yeah. If you didn't know what stuff was and you walked into that, I don't know, that would just kind of vaporize your mind. You'd be like, what why do these people find this funny? He just lost 10,000 soul. Yeah.
I love it.
While we got Smoothie here,
Yeah.
What about some like alpha shares? Some things that you've learned time in the space.
Yep, give us the gossip.
Yeah, Smoothie, come on, give us the best.
I don't know. I guess like with the Solana shitters, it just feels like I don't know, like everything's just so narrative heavy. Like I don't know, like I used to invest in like serious coins, like this tech's going to change the game. But like these days, I'm just kind of like, whatever people are talking about the most on any given day is like, I'm just gonna fucking like throw this into it. If it like sustains, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's what's gonna do the best. So it's kind of just like the realization that just everything's a meme. Like everything's just like, if people are gonna talk about it, that's the good shit.
Yeah,
the tech is irrelevant.
Attention and price drive narrative. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think I've come to that same sort of mindset.
Yeah,
this,
so have
this
I.
cycle.
So have I.
Yeah.
I think you just got to be. I think like BTC, if you want quality, actual, proper like institutional asset class, and then obviously memes, AI. They're both, AI is a meme, but like yeah, I've garnered that mindset as well.
Yeah, nice. I definitely I subscribe to that pretty heavy.
I think I sort of once I started looking like closely into like a lot of the FTVs and stuff like that, it was just like, oh, like the upside is just like so not there compared to last cycle for a lot of these like, I mean, projects that don't really solve any real world problems. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I feel like you've got two choices.
I mean,
this cycle.
I'm in one right now, but like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in too many.
I feel like you got two choices this cycle if you want to make it. You either stick to the majors, or you go to memes. Like you're on both ends of the bell curve.
Fuck out of it, yeah.
But like you either left curve or you full right curve, and the right curve play is to like just stick to the majors, and then the left curve play is to go to the memes. But everything else in the middle, you're gonna get fucking raped on.
I agree. I probably tend to
DeFi feels very deceased, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like we need something to fill that middle gap. It's like Bitcoin shitters, but like the tech's just not that exciting. The exciting tech is just like FDVs of like 20B.
Yeah,
it's just like, I think we're a bit over it after SBF and shit.
For sure. I'd really just want like a genuine coin that's like just fully unlocked, released like from the start, and
please.
then like it's a genuine project that I can just like actually ape into, because I'd fucking do that like in a heartbeat.
So DMT pretty much.
Hey, I set that up really nicely.
I love it.
Yeah. You beat me to it, Swiss.
I agree. I'm sick of these fucking high FDV coins.
Yeah, for sure. We've angered the market gods by releasing too many high FDV launches.
Yeah. Watch somehow like the market makers pump all these fucking tokens to infinity and then dump on us. But yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping it goes into. I hope we do get a PvE mode at some point.
I think we will.
I mean, I think it's inevitable that we do, but at the same time, everyone feels like we won't right now. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that's just because we're like pre-halving? Like
that's what I mean. We could still be like so early in the cycle in the sense that like this could extend for another like year or a bit over a year or something. So I mean, I don't know.
Smoothie, were you a first cyclist or are you a second cyclist this time around?
This is actually my third.
So he's a right curve. He's
a right curve.
I finally ascended.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, it was like the tail end of 2017. So it was kind of like the first one wasn't like a full cycle. So I don't know if you'd count that as three, but
though, so
yeah,
that's all that matters.
So you were here on that first time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I was there for like Neo era. So it was kind of like,
I was not there.
I didn't make it to the Ant Shares era, but yeah, look, we've been through a few. The first one, as they always say, is like you get absolutely rinsed. Second one, you know, you get pretty rinsed on the way down, but you manage to keep, you know, some of the bag. And then this one, you know, I don't know if we're going to make retirement, but you know, popcat may take us there. So fingers crossed.
Yes.
So I got to get back on again, Smoothie, and talk about the cycles that you've been in, because I feel like you're going to have a lot more wisdom than what we could probably shove in a wrap-up, like 2-minute clip. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can be here for 7 years and feel like you've learnt nothing. But hey, you know, the bull tingle is the main alpha.
So if there's one question I can ask on the wrap-up, pre the last cycle, right? Like at this point in time, did you feel similar to the way a lot of people feel now, where we feel like it can't be this easy? Like, you know, we've got such low entries and things could run this hard.
Yes, because like I remember last cycle, I think I got liquidated pretty hard. And I remember like coping with a buddy of mine who also got liquidated, and we're just like, oh, this must be the top. It's run up so hard. How can this possibly continue? All this sort of shit. And it kind of feels like that now, where it's kind of like shit feels so so ridiculous. Like Solana's up from like $8 to all the way up to 200, and you're kind of like, how much gas can this possibly have left in it? But you have like a little cool off, and then it rotates, and like as like the Hsaka post is like, you mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling, or whatever those memes are, or like bid more, bet more, and it just feels like it's going to get a lot sillier than we can possibly like conceive of before the top, and like it's been very silly with shit like Slurf, but hey, it feels like there's plenty of gas left in the tank.
And then think about how silly it was last cycle. Like, obviously, like Slurf and all that was fucking hilarious, but like there was coins that would go, like Doge went to like what, like 90 billion or something. Like that was like insanely silly.
The top is when Ansem's partying with Katy Perry. That's when you get out.
Yeah, I like it.
Like I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah, Anthem with like actual A-grade celebrities like Justin Bieber, Katy Perry. Like they're buying like fucking, I don't know, they're buying like a puppet or something. I would laugh my head off.
I did one tweet, I remember, it was like, I'm not selling my penguin until Taylor Swift makes it her PFP, and I'm like, what? Something like that ridiculous.
I know, when Neymar Jr. made like, so true, when Neymar Jr. made like his profile picture when they were selling for like 400 or 300k or something, I was like, we need someone like that, but with a penguin.
Exactly. Sure. Like we've had nothing even close to that. And that was like last cycle. Like market caps are bigger, the space is getting bigger. It should get even crazier. Like we're gonna have something like that, and people are gonna be like, oh my god, it's the top. Like Neymar's, posting a fucking, Rune pup or a Bitcoin puppet. But that's like, I feel like it could get even sillier than that. We need like world leaders posting like NFT PFP.
Someone get Xi Jinping a penguin.
Joe Biden uses Joe Biden as a PFP on his like Twitter profile.
Dude, we need Donald Trump to like say Geo Biden once. Like we shouldn't say one.
I feel like that's what the community is genuinely waiting for as well.
I honestly think on Polymar, I think there's like a market. Like, will Donald Trump say Geo Biden before the end of the election? I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god!
I feel like
that'd be great.
Too.
Like, I do think about it, and I'm like, I saw the tweet thread of like, oh yeah, just get the Geo Biden thing, like in a rally. He definitely would. Like,
yeah, I reckon Geo Boden's probably like a top 3 Solana meme coin. Like the only issue I have with it is if it gets a centralized exchange listing. If it got one, I'd honestly put it like top 2 with Whiff. It's so fucking funny.
Just thinking about how much I used to own.
Don't remind me, bro.
I remember we all agreed, we're like, yep, Geo Boden is a $30 million soul shitter. Like, it'll be, this is when it was like 5 or 10 mil or something. Like, this is a good 3 or 4x from here.
Man.
Don't remind me.
Dude, can't.
Awesome. Thanks, Smoothie, for jumping on tonight. It was sick. We've got to have you on again for sure. That was
it was a pleasure being on the pod.
Thanks, Smoothie.
Yeah. Thanks, Smoothie. Cheers for coming on, bro.
Cheers. All right, let's roll it out.
Much love. See ya.
Thanks, everyone.
And
thanks,
wrapping
Chad.
it up.